Hi, Steve here with another edition of Results, my podcast. It's great to be back sharing some more tried, tested and proven ways. I've really enjoyed the interviews that I've done recently with Andy Good and Marcus Cauchi, but today I'm back on my own, so you've got to put up with me. I got a question asked the other day, and that was, what's happening right now? And you don't need me to tell you about the coronavirus and what's happening there. You can't turn the news on or read a newspaper or listen to the radio, go on social media or virtually anywhere without hearing about it. And obviously it's a really bad thing, and my heart goes out to anybody who's been affected by it in terms of their family and their health and friends and so on, and anybody who's passed away as a result of it. They're the real victims. But also, if we're not careful, we're going to be victims ourselves in business. And I think right now, there's several groups that we need to consider, and these are groups of people based sometimes on their industry, other times possibly on their geographic location, and certainly sometimes based on their attitude. There are people who run businesses that, through no fault of their own, nothing to do with their attitude or anything, but they've just had their business closed down. The government said you cannot and should not open your business. If you're a restaurant or a pub or a golf club, a cinema, places like that. My heart does go out to you, and it's not tough. It's impossible. You just can't, really run business. Although, I have to talk about attitude here and say that I know some pubs and restaurants and so on have gone from like being a pub or a restaurant to, I heard a story locally, I'm based in Portsmouth, and there's a business in Portsmouth who've turned their pub into a market garden. And so they're doing deliveries out to people who want fresh fruit and vegetables and so on. They've set up an online website. People can order and they'll deliver to their houses, So how about that for thinking outside the box? I know of a pub who's offering a delivery to older people. So what they'll do apparently is, I think it's for £38 a week. They'll provide them with one hot meal per day. So again, it's delivered. There's a different meal each day. They provide them with 7 meals for 38 quid. It might be 36 quid actually. That would make more sense. And that's what they do. So, you just know if you can think outside the box, even when you're in one of those industries that have been closed down, perhaps there's still hope. There's another massive group who basically are businesses who are struggling. They're going to find it more difficult to create leads and sales. They're struggling to survive. And the reason behind that is that, certainly times are tough, obviously, and people working from home makes it tougher. It's tougher to deliver the products and the services that people offer and so on and so forth. But I do think for these businesses, a key part of what they need to do right now and go forward is to think positively. Don't just be, it's the coronavirus, there's no point doing anything. There's no point doing any marketing right now. People are not buying. That's true to some extent, but I at the same time, if you look at me and my business, you'd think, well, he's a marketing guy. Nobody's going to hire Steve right now. And, we've had 2, quite reasonable sales in the last week. Several £1,000 sales, let's put it that way. And, it just makes me realise that actually people are still buying. People do need. And I'll tell you what, as a marketing person myself, and I'm not just saying this because I'm in marketing, if you think about it, your business, if you're in one of those industries that's tough right now, then your business doesn't need to get worse at marketing. It needs to get better at marketing. You don't need to stop marketing. You need to start marketing, or you need to increase your marketing, or you need to become better at marketing. That's what you need to do. And that's, not necessarily to go from, wherever you are to wherever you wanted to be, like, 6 weeks ago. My aim 6 weeks ago was to, perhaps grow my business from £500,000 to £1 million in the next year. That's what I was trying to do. And now it's just to, keep going, really, but if you just sit back and just say, well, there's no point in trying to market your business, then do you know what? You're not even going to get what you've always got. There's that old saying, isn't there? If you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. And that is definitely not true right now. And if you don't do even as much as you've always done, then you're not even going to get a tenth of what you've always got. If you carried on doing the marketing that you've been doing the last few years, I guarantee that sales are going to go down in your business, unless you're, one of those lucky industries that, are selling toilet rolls or hand sanitizer or, something that, everybody's buying right now. Unless you're one of those industries, your business could, close because you're not out there marketing. Now, even if you don't really buy into this, even if you're thinking, do you know what, Steve, I don't think I can create many leads right now. You could be right, but that doesn't, and I must stress this doesn't mean that you shouldn't be marketing. Perhaps it means you need to do the marketing that you've never had the real time to do. I'm talking about things like, you've probably had a promise that, I'm going to update and improve our website. It's one of those jobs that won't necessarily create loads of leads overnight, but by doing it, when times do return to some form of normality, then hopefully that will make a big difference to your business. So it's that type of thing that you need to think about. Looking at your, perhaps going on to LinkedIn and not necessarily posting loads of stuff today, although that could still get you some business. But what you might do is say, right, okay, I've only got 200 contacts on LinkedIn. In the next 6 weeks, I'm going to get that up to 1,000 contacts, so that when things go back to normal and we hit the ground running and I start posting out every day, 2, 3, 4 times a day on LinkedIn, it's going to be seen by 1,000 people instead of 200 people. And those 1,000 people are all going to be highly targeted prospects for me. How good an idea is that? And if you looked at each and every element of your marketing, that's another real key performance indicator, if you will, or key action that you need to take. The other action that I really do believe you should be taking right now is improving your sales and marketing knowledge. Because when we get back to normal, do you think there's going to be a big rush of marketing? What would your obvious intelligence tell you? That everybody's going to jump back on the bandwagon and be out there trying to market their business to get back the customers that they've already lost. And so, if there's going to be loads of that, it's going to be very, very competitive. So you need to be better than you are now. Again, I hope this all makes sense. I think it's common sense, but it's not necessarily common practice. And, that's a big difference, really. So that's about it. I just thought I'd do a quick podcast today. I hope that's of value. If you want to know more from me, or if your business is, really struggling right now, then, I've just launched a program myself, and it's called How to Survive in Tough Times. Now, it's a 12-week program, okay? 12 weeks. What we do is we get together. This is small numbers. This is a group thing. We get together with 10 businesses, a maximum of 10 businesses. We do it online. We do it for 2 hours. We do it every Thursday, and we sit down together and work out what we need to do to survive. What are the actions that we need to take in order to get through this as businesses? And the whole idea is these businesses are all going to help each other, and so on and so forth. And I've set this up. It's basically 24 hours. You get 24 hours of advice and expertise from myself and the other 9 members of the group, and I'm charging 250 quid for it. So I've tried to price it at a level where, even a business that's really struggling, that in my opinion is a no-brainer. So if you want to get your business to the next level, if you really want to just make sure your business stays afloat, then, spending 250 quid on that could be the best £250 you ever spend in your life. So something for you to think about there. If you want to find out more, go to my website. It's on the homepage. It's at the top. Website is www.stevemills.co. Thanks very much for listening, and I look forward to speaking to you again. Thank you.